took an assignment for Record Time magazine. Your record nerds. Scott is awesome. He's an awesome editor, and it's your jam. Cheap $10, $20 records that, hey, you should listen to this. I'm gonna write about Eddie Hinton's Capricorn record for sure. I said I would do the Arista records, and I had never listened to them before, as Jeff is saying, never. I had listened, heard songs, I dabbled. It was so bad for me. My best friend Troy got Hell and High Water from like BMG, for pennies, and I stole it from him because I didn't want him to listen to it. I didn't want him to know how bad the Allman Brothers had become, right? So I wrote this 3,000 word essay that I'm actually quite proud of. And he asked me, Scott, one of the things Scott asked me to do was to put the whole thing a little bit in better context. So how did it get even to this point in the first place, much less how did we get to the two Arista records, much less the actual two Arista records, much less Brothers of the Road, like this, right? And so I know I texted you and I said, when's the last time you've listened to me? Like, it's been a while. And so, I mean, I took notes as I wrote. I put the assignment off so long. I was like, okay, I'm going to pull out I'm going to listen to everything starting with the Allman Brothers band. So my records are a mess. Like I said, I couldn't find the record. And I was like, okay, so I can't start there. All right, I'll start with Win, Lose, or Draw. And that was actually a good one to begin my palate cleanse state. That is not an attempt, right, on them to sort of update any sound. That's really not what's happening in 75. And so then I went to, all right, what happens after that? So, Great Southern version 1 or 2, basically the same album twice. You got Playing Up a Storm, and then you got Sea Level. Now, Sea Level is got to be one of the great. I mean, Sea Level, to me, that debut album ranks with Highway Call and Laid Back as one of the greatest side Allman Brother projects in history. Greg was big on that updating sound on Playing Up a Storm. I mean, that's got some yacht rock kind of feel to it, proto yacht rock, I guess you would call it. Version of, like, my friend Steve calls it, you've met Steve, he calls, Greg leaves a lot of unpolished gems, One More Try, what a beautiful song. And the best version we have, the only version is that one, The Come and Go Blues version, has a real disco-y backbeat feel. I chose not to go down the Dead's success at Arista very far, just for expediency's sake, right? But it did come to mind on several cases.